Video Home Show. I don't remember the rest of it. It's a show about things. You should listen. Cause it's about to come on right about now. No, that's awful. And hello, and welcome to another episode of Video Home Show. I'm Kieran.
I'm Hugh.
I'm Joe.
And with us today we have Joe. Hello, Joe.
I'm Joe. I'm Joe.
Woo, Joe,
Excellent.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Joe.
Joe does things. Tell me some things you do, Joe.
I'm Joe.
Okay.
I live on the internet.
Excellent.
It's dark in here. And
Just
haven't
disembodied
seen the light of day in
voice
a
that
long
talks
time.
to us. Installed on some Windows 95 computer.
Joe was a Vocaloid
Yeah.
we programmed.
like kind of like the. I've been kind of modeling myself on the Demon Headmaster. Do you remember that?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
that guy? Yeah, I want to be that kind of like floating head thing, kind of like a mixture of the Wizard of Oz and the Demon Headmaster, and I don't know, whatever.
Clippy, the Microsoft Word helper.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare say anything like Clippy.
Whoa, don't be dissing Clippy on this podcast, Joe. This is a safe place.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm
This is
sorry.
a safe place for
For
Clippy
Clippy.
lovers.
He has so few
Okay.
safe places left.
That guy owes me money.
So, how are you, Hugh?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you, Joe?
I'm good.
Okay, let's go. Let's talk about some Pokemon movie.
Woo,
Yeah.
woo, woo.
This is how we do shit now.
This is a much less time-consuming system. I like it.
I feel like my introduction could be better.
Journey's just begun. More the better. Team Rocket's on the rise. We're friends forever. You've got the power.
And welcome back, and we're now going to talk about some Pokemon movie. Yeah. So as usual, since Joe doesn't know, we're gonna start with like the really basic facts about this show.
Well, movie,
So,
not show. We're not going to talk about the show. That's
We're not gonna be talking about the show. We're not gonna be talking about the fucking saga that is the Pokemon television show. We're talking about Pokemon the first movie. And also, Hugh, did you watch Pikachu's Vacation?
Yes, I did.
I did not.
But no, it's part of the
Neither did
movie.
Is it the kind of the preamble to it?
Yeah.
yeah, there was like
Well,
a featurette
It has
at the
nothing. It has
beginning.
nothing to do with it, but
Yeah.
that's what they showed in the cinemas, and I remember it just at that point, like, because it's 20 minutes long of just Pikachu, like no dialogue, just like the Pokemon running around and stuff.
Yeah.
Like-
He's a little. Sorry.
Yeah.
shit.
So
He's such a little dork. Pikachu's such
Yeah.
a dork.
Pikachu's just like, why can't we all just get along? And the other Pokemon
Yeah.
are like, no, fuck that.
Yeah. Smash shit up.
Yeah. Oh, and
Like,
then
what?
then like half of it is about Charizard gets his head stuck in something, and they all have to work together to help him out.
Yeah, it's bullshit, man. Like, if like Gollum was like the protagonist instead of Pikachu, things would be a lot different in the show and the movie. I think Gollum would make for a much more, I don't know, Chris Nolan-esque Pokemon movie.
Gollum, don't call me the Rock, Gollum.
Yeah.
Can you smell what the Gollum is cooking?
Oh my god.
Anyway,
But yeah,
So-
so there's the thing at the start, which is I'd forgotten it was 20 minutes of just that.
yeah.
And like
I did not.
I remember seeing this in the cinema and kind of going like, is this it? Seriously, is this what the movie is? Because it's 20 minutes.
It is like a good. Like what would that be? That would be a
That's like
sixth of a movie.
that's
20 minutes?
the entire length of an episode of the TV show.
Yeah.
And they never did an episode of the TV show where no one talks except for the narrator.
Do you think it was some like kind of weird like the AD or whatever wanted to have some weird conceptual kind of slightly artistic piece to try and justify his life for having directed a Pokemon film.
Well, actually, like, okay.
The first Pokemon movie
This-
directed
the
by
first-
David Lynch.
Pokemon, the first movie, is actually like 3 different movies, isn't it? Or 3
there's
different
There's
features?
3 parts.
Yeah, they all came out separately in Japan.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I think apart from I think Pikachu's Vacation was like a straight to TV featurette.
Okay.
And then there was the story about Mew's origins, which they only use like a scene of in this chop up of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was its own movie in Japan. I want to say that was also straight to TV.
That would make sense.
And then the bulk of the movie, which I think is called Mewtwo's Revenge or something like that in Japan.
Mewtwo's. Oh, in Japan, yeah, it's called something.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but it's.
And that is the first cinematic release of Pokemon in Japan, and obviously here as well.
yeah.
It came out. That came out in 1998 in Japan. This re-edit cut or whatever you want to call Pokemon the first movie, which wasn't the first movie, came out in 1999 in the US and in Europe.
Yeah. At different times between the year. I think it was November in America.
Yeah, I remember this coming out here fairly close to Christmas.
I think it came out. No, I think it came out in the summer in Ireland and the UK.
how do you
Yeah?
like? How can you remember back that far?
1999, like
No, it's not, man.
It's in living memory.
We have no primary sources related to this anymore. Everyone's dead.
No, but like it was. I remember because I was living in Limerick at the time. The whole basically the entire cinema was just kind of shut down because of this movie. It was just Pokemon movie. It was happening. The cinema there in I want to say Castle Rock was a part of a shopping center, and so was McDonald's. So we went to the film and we watched it.
no way.
Great shit. I got my shiny Mew card.
Yeah.
Remember that, and then I go to McDonald's afterwards, and all they're playing is the soundtrack from the movie. And I got my McDonald's Happy Meal.
Yeah, it was
with the
kind of like
Pokemon
a
toy
craze, wasn't
inside
it? It really was. It really was.
Like
Every single day after school, every
oh,
single
absolutely.
like
Yeah.
playground encounter was like, 2 kids hustling the rest of the kids with their cards, being like, "Oh look, I'll have a look at your deck while you show me yours." And then while they're having a look at your deck, they'll just take all the good cards and stuff, and then you give it back, and then
No foul play here. Just show
Okay,
it to
I
me.
did,
Lived in a
fine.
rough neighborhood, Joe.
yeah, we got hustled.
Kids stole my
We got
Pokemon
hustled
cards.
every day for
like
Pokemon
knifed
cards,
them.
man. It was a struggle. I'm sorry.
It was pretty.
No one
rough.
understands. But yeah, there would be people with their game links and stuff like that, their link cables, and you'd be hustled over and kicking ass. Yeah, okay. Pokemon was big shit and still is big shit. But this movie was a big thing, even though as we watch this movie, it's kind
Yep.
of weird and rambling and doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely. Especially because of the weird feature at the start that isn't related to it.
Yeah, long and rambling. So yeah, I should say the only other really big fact about this film is that it was a huge financial success, but a massive critical failure.
Well, I mean, yeah.
every review that came out
It
of
was-
it was just that was garbage.
It was kind of okay up
that was
until
absolute garbage.
towards the end when the really sad ballad thing comes in.
That was
yeah. What's that
and
name of
that-
that American singer songwriter Jack Jameson, John Johnson?
Oh,
Jack Johnson.
Yeah, it sounded like something he wrote but then decided not to put on his album.
Yeah.
it was a band called Blessed Union of Souls.
Wow.
Oh.
And they're still going, and with a different lineup, and their keyboard player was Ozzy Osbourne's touring keyboard player.
You can definitely tell I fail. Listening
Yeah.
to that.
yeah, big time, yeah.
Well, in fairness, the Pokemon soundtrack is filled with a huge amount of oddities. Devo have made a song for the Pokemon soundtrack.
What?
It wasn't in this film; it was in the show.
Oh,
and the second movie. But Devo made a song for it. Yeah,
Nice.
you look it up. There's a Devo Pokemon song.
that's so fucking twisted.
Yeah, it was big shit. Everyone wanted to be on it. I think like Cyndi Lauper also lent her vocals or some shit. I don't even know. But like there's some like weirdly famous names attached to like some odd Pokemon soundtrack stuff. Obviously only for like the American and like the English speaking shows and not the Japanese one, but yeah.
Yeah, because
It was ridiculous. But yeah, no, every
That is
review
strange.
of it at the time in every like major publication was just like this was long, weird, and rambling. Things didn't make sense. The best summary I got of it was like a kung fu film, like a martial arts film without any of the like action. I
there's
guess
some
he was
action at the start when that guy is just like, "Are you Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town?" For no reason,
Yeah,
just comes
yeah,
up
yeah.
to him. It's just like, do you want to battle? Ash never asked, "How do you know my name? Who are you?"
Of course I'll fight you, grown man.
At this point in Ash's career, he's like been in one league, didn't even make it into the final five, and like
Amazing.
for some strange reason he has fame.
But there's such a
Infamy?
weird thing. It's such a weird universe because adults and children don't seem to be any different to each other in it, and so there are fully grown men who are like just trying so hard to fight these young boys.
Yep.
I think they're probably a bit sad though. It's like when you see a guy like on the dart and he's wearing like a big leather jacket and he's got a mohawk, but he's like 60 and he pulls everyone aside and tells them what real punk is. I feel like that's what like adult Pokemon players are in this world. Like,
This is real fighting.
this is
child.
real Pokemon fighting. Like back in my day, there was only 6 Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. to be fair, I'm definitely one of the people who's like, I don't care about the rest of Pokemon after the first 150.
Ah,
I mean, I probably should. No,
Yeah,
I shouldn't. There's other things I should care
There's
about.
no good reason for you to like have to do it.
I just I don't know. I guess I like Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue,
yeah.
and even when Yellow came out, I was like, I don't know.
That's a push.
They're kind of messing with the meta. Yeah, they're kind of messing with the meta here, having a Pikachu follow me around. Like, I'm not really digging that. I don't know. And then
yeah.
whatever came out after that was that like.
Well,
I can't-
that's actually the ones that came after that are still my favorite games.
Silver and Gold.
Gold and Silver.
yeah, I must give them a go.
Very good.
They
I don't know.
they had all the proper shit put into it. There hasn't been like major differences in the game since that one, other than graphics. Like
They introduced
Gold and Silver.
they introduced a lot of new mechanics in that.
they brought in the daycare
Yeah.
system where you could just dump a Pokemon on someone and they'll just take care of it for you. They brought
That's
in
cool.
like Pokemon breeding so that like I could have babies.
Well, no, there was a daycare in the first game, but there was no
but
there was
it
no
didn't have-
breeding.
yeah, it didn't have
back
Pokemon
to
breeding.
it, yeah.
What else? The berries, having Pokemon hold items. Psychic isn't an invincible type.
There's a
Oh, that's
time.
cool.
There was a time system going through it.
Oh yeah, day and night, and treating your Pokemon good and badly
Yeah.
is also a thing as well.
People would call you
Really?
up
So,
for
like-
extra battles and stuff on your magic phone thing you had for some
Oh yeah,
reason.
the phone. You had a mobile phone, and like people you battled before who would like give you their number, and then they call you up and was like, "Hey, you wanna fight again?" It was a good way so that like, because at the end of Red and Blue, you're just like, "I've fought everyone.
What to do now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I do to train?"
Oh, so is it kind of more? There's a lot more going on. Is it? I know it's kind of open worldy anyway.
Mm.
No, it kind of is. But is it
Kinda,
more
yeah.
open worldy? You can kind of yeah.
a
okay.
bit. It's a bit like once you. There's a bit more going on once you beat the Elite Four.
Yeah, because
Like-
you can go through
Yeah.
Kanto again.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah,
the
shit,
game
there's
is
a
the game
proper
is like
sequel.
roughly about twice as big in terms of
Because-
the amount to do. Yeah.
After you beat the new Gold and Silver world, you're able to go onto a ferry and go into the world that was in Red and Blue, and you get to fight like Misty 3 years on, and now Gary is the leader of Giovanni's gym and things like that.
No way. That's cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's there's like 16 gyms in total and 2 Elite Fours to fight.
I don't know if I can handle another video game obsession right now though.
Get it on an emulator
Yeah.
and put it on double speed. It's much more fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking actually. Once you get that bike, you're sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we should probably start talking about the movie. You
Oh
brought
yeah,
it
the
up.
film.
But yeah, that's structured.
You brought it up though in the beginning that when they do the musical in oh yeah, no, hang on. First of all, that's not the proper beginning.
Yeah.
Do you remember at the very beginning there's some like David Attenborough shit where this guy starts talking. It's not even the typical Pokemon narrator. It's like, I should catch him. No, it's some guy with like a proper like nature documentary voiceover talking about like the origins of life.
Oh yeah, it's really like existential and stuff. It's really kind of like deep.
That's the clip from the the Pokemon movie where you find out about Mew's origins.
Okay.
From Japan. That's like that stuff.
He's
there.
explaining what Pokemon are.
Yeah, he explains what Pokemon are and like.
But don't they go into kind of like what is life kind of thing?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the kids love.
I'll get into that because of the differences between the Japanese one and the English one because it's ridiculous. But also while like this David Attenborough guy's talking, there's this like whisper in the background. Do you guys remember the whispering? I think it's meant to be Mewtwo, and he's like whispering, "Where am I?"
Yes.
And there's like loads of like reverb and delay on it. And it's like, oh Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
it's really creepy.
Yeah,
It was
this
kinda
is,
how-
this isn't that before the whole like the RoboCop scene where they're just like he's alive and stuff, and Mewtwo's all like,
Yeah, pretty much.
why have you created me?
Yeah.
And it's also okay. This is probably the only good cinematic moment in this film, which is they have the whole like they show the contrast of Mew out in the wild, and he's like playing around in the water, and there's bubbles in front of his face.
He loves them
and it
bubbles.
and then it just flips to Mewtwo in the big giant stasis tank with bubbles in front of his face.
Oh yeah.
That is
That is-
the only good like cinematic thing in
That
this
is
film.
cool. That is cool, actually. There is one kind of throwback to the video game as well, where the kind of like hieroglyphic kind of version of Mew. You know, do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's kind of drawn on what the missing Ingo looked like in the game.
Yeah, and they did they had Unknown in the background, didn't they? That's from the
In the film, did they?
I think so, like on the hieroglyphs, because they had in Gold and Silver there was a Pokemon called Unknown, which is the hieroglyph Pokemon.
Oh, but
And,
wasn't that what didn't the missing? How do you guys pronounce missing now?
It's missing no, yeah.
It was always missing Ingo whenever I was playing it. I don't know why.
It's missing number,
Yeah.
Yes, okay, that makes sense. Now I hate it. But the
It was a glitch because they ran out of hex numbers for the Pokemon. So there was one that was reused for the old man who teaches you how to catch Pokemon at the start.
That's
In order to
what it
have his
was.
sprite, they just reused a number. But that meant there was like this weird error later in the game where there wasn't data being kept properly.
That's what
Yeah.
it was. Sorry with the film. Sorry, cinematics. Sorry.
No, it's fine. And then but then that's that weird, really like fucking dark opening where Mewtwo kills everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kills everyone.
Yeah, actually, I made a list of all the Pokemon that he fights in that thing.
Or
So-
where they show him like working for Giovanni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he like in the same fight he smashes an Onix, a Herd of Taurus, an Alakazam, a Magneton, an Arcanine, and a Nidoking. It's like it's so badass. And actually, speaking of cinematics, I love the white orbs as explosions.
Yeah, that's
those
good.
kind of white balls. They're
That's very anime kind
It
of
is,
shit.
yeah.
The
Yeah, no,
hot
it is,
white
yeah.
explosion.
It is, but it's
Yeah,
so
those are
cool.
cool.
But yeah, from the very like he's actually quite likable at the start. Mewtwo as a kind of film.
Yeah, no, like he's meant to be like a complex character, and that's actually, yeah, okay, I'll get into that about like what Mewtwo is in the Japanese film. But first, I want to say when this is before we get to Ash Ketchum, but when Mewtwo escapes Giovanni,
Yes.
and he basically blows up Giovanni's gym and presumably underground headquarters underneath the gym
Yeah.
for Team Rocket.
Yeah.
That's in Viridian. Isn't that meant to be like a quiet mountain town?
Yep.
It's like a town surrounded by mountains. There's
But
like 3 shops.
That's in
and then
that's
it's
in the
just
show.
giant
But that's in the show. There's the episode of the show where Ash gets back to Viridian City and
And there's an
needs
explo-
and needs
yeah.
like and he meets Gary who's like just lost to Giovanni and it's just like, oh, that was awful. Don't go in there. And then there's like this big explosion and then Mewtwo escapes.
Yeah, it's just this
And it's
giant.
like, go see the
beam
movie.
coming at him. But no, that's actually like, as a child, I really liked that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
no,
good.
yeah.
You don't get anything like that now, where like the series kind of carries on. Like either it'll be a cartoon series where the series just carries on and the movie is completely self-contained, or it will be a series that ends in a movie and you have to see the movie for you to continue watching the series. There was nothing like nothing like this where the movie just kind of branches off,
Yeah.
but the show acknowledged it happened.
Yeah.
Like that was cool shit when I was young. I fucking lost my mind. Speaking of losing my mind, the crazy title comes up. That weird guy who comes along and fights Ash in the middle of nowhere comes along, but he takes out a fucking Donphan. Lost my shit as a child. There's one of the new Pokemon before the game came out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. The kind of the rhino looking thing.
Yeah, he's an elephant guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was taking down the list of thingies and I have him down as unknown rhino looking yoke.
Yeah, he's Donphan. He's. Oh, I just remember like seeing that in the trailer and just being like, they're gonna show new Pokemon.
Yeah.
But it's
I'm
more
pretty sick of-
I need more.
Yeah, because like they've been showing Togepi for like 30 episodes at this point. I'm sick of Togepi.
Yeah, big
I
time.
remember.
Let's get on to some
I remember the speculation around Togepi was like, what will Togepi grow into? And then it turned out nothing.
Yeah.
Togepi is its
Yeah.
own self-contained Pokemon.
No, it grows into Togechick.
Yeah, which is just the fucking same. It's a larger. It's the same thing.
It's just more annoying.
Yeah.
Togepi was not a good Pokemon.
No.
It's
But
so
yeah,
many-
that was
so
kind
much
of disappointing that
speculation.
the only new Pokemon in the film was say it again.
Donphan, yeah.
Donphan. I'm not counting Togepi because Togepi was in the series beforehand.
Yeah, for ages, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, there is that one episode where Team Rocket captures Donphan and they bring him to Giovanni, and he's like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" And they're just like, and they're like, "You could use him as a paperweight." And I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about Togepi." Togepi can go fuck itself.
Yeah, what a little dick.
But yeah, I lost my shit in the cinema when Donphan came out and was like, "Oh snap!"
New Pokemon.
Were you like foaming at the mouth?
I was foaming at the mouth. I was like a 9-year-old boy from Limerick, just been like,
Punching
possibly 8 years old because I don't know when this came out. But yeah,
just punching whoever brought you.
you don't know what this means to me.
I don't know what film. I was at a film one year. This is totally nothing to do with Pokemon. I was at a film in the cinema, and whatever happened at the end of it, there's loads of blood, and the guy that we were with stood up to leave, and he fainted. But we thought he was joking, so we got up and started kicking him in the ribs in the aisle.
Joe, no.
So the lights went up, and there we were, kind of like pummeling this kid on the ground. But he had actually fainted, and we had to explain to security that he was a friend of ours and that we weren't actually trying to like maul this poor unconscious guy. Speaking of losing our minds in the cinema,
Oh, so
sorry.
good.
Oh god, yeah. But yeah, so as we were saying, that adult trainer who comes along to fight Ash is pretty sad. He's also pretty desperate because he like at one point throws out 3 Pokemon at once to
Yeah.
fight like his Pikachu.
Aren't there rules?
That's not street legal. That's not kosher. Like,
Come on,
This
man.
is street Pokemon. As opposed to the regular Pokemon.
like when you're playing street football and you're allowed to kick the ball off the wall. Like, you know, it's anything goes.
Yeah.
Jeez, I was expecting. He was getting pretty fucking like beefy about it. I was expecting him to pull out a switchblade and like attack Ash if he lost.
do you think there's much violence associated with lost Pokemon battles? Do you think?
I'm pretty sure there is. Like, yeah, I'd say Pokemon is used to resolve a lot of disputes that probably don't satisfy anyone.
Yeah.
Go to the bank. They tell you you're overdrawn. Sort it out.
Take out my Scyther.
just Bulbasaur
Overdrawn,
Vine,
am I?
just vine whip someone to death.
Yeah, but like then, okay, but like then that scene ends because it's a big musical overload with, as you mentioned earlier, the Pokemon theme song with all this weird lyrical inflection on it. It's just the same song except sung slightly differently.
Yeah, there's a lot of inflection in front. Like that's
A
whoever
lot of inflection.
the person singing it gets very into it. You're like, really? There's not. You're attributing this weird emotion that isn't in the song.
Actually, I have written down in one of my notes. Seriously, imagine having to sing those songs so earnestly.
Definitely.
You say that, but someone got mad coin for that.
Yeah. Serious coin.
I was like, it's some guy living in a mansion in LA just been like, so what did you do with your life? Well, I just I wrote a slightly different version of the Pokemon theme song that was used in the first movie, and now I live here with my thousands upon thousands of money and piles of cocaine.
I just imagine he's really into it still. He's just like, this one time I became the very best that there ever was.
And he just every new person he brings home, he just plays the song. He's like, listen to this bit here. Oh, that fucking took 3 hours.
Do you think he speaks like that?
Yeah, that's how they found him.
I think it's probably all MIDI. In fairness,
I don't know. I think you only have between 0 and 127 kind of bits there to change. This is like inflection beyond that. This is like acrobatics.
This guy is the fucking Mozart of our times.
Yeah.
Underappreciated.
It's a Mariah Carey version of Pokemon music.
I'm sure there is.
No, that's what it is. It's all like all that kind of shit.
And then that whole scene ends. The whole musical interlude ends with probably the best line I've ever heard come out of James's mouth. Because Pikachu basically ends the battle by like killing 3 Pokemon or whatever.
Yeah.
And James, just watching this over the hill, goes, "There's another credit on Pikachu's charge account." I'm like, okay, that's some decent play on words. Well done, James. He's like, I've been writing that one for 3 weeks.
Oh,
Finally,
God.
I'm waiting to use it.
I actually hate Team Rocket so much.
Why? They're the best.
They don't serve any point in this film.
No.
They are basically, they're saying out loud what the audience is meant to be saying.
Yeah, exactly. They're like auto cue.
Yeah.
They're awful.
Here's
awful
what you're
villains.
meant to be thinking at this moment.
Yeah, like you already have kind of like the worst villain of all time kind of thing, or you know the worst kind of possible adversary you could ever have in Mewtwo. You don't need this comic relief thing with these like nothing villains who actually they provide nothing. They are no use. There's no part in the film where they kind of discover anything. I guess they kind of clone.
They provide the boat to get to the island.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
And then they
They're
also
racist.
turn on the video log of like the scientists who made Mewtwo to
Yeah.
give you some exposition.
But
Yeah.
I mean, like,
That's about it.
that's so easily done by I don't know any other character.
Yeah. Or that big like bit at the beginning you had where you showed like Mewtwo's origins. That's where you put in the exposition about Mewtwo. Actually, I'm pretty sure that exposition scene just repeats.
Oh, it does. Yeah,
everything
no, it's the same.
that was shown.
It's the same.
See?
It's the same dialogue. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's so ridiculous, but like.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're invited to this weird Pokemon tournament in this very "Help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope" kind of moment with the little hologram.
Yeah, it's like a direct rip-off. Like,
It is, and then that weird Dragonite that brings them. Dragonite is the goofiest goddamn Pokemon in the world.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm a dragon.
well done, Dragonite.
Dragonite's weirdly human though. It's like, cause he has the kind of messenger bag over his shoulder and stuff, and kind of like
Yeah.
fishes things out. It's like
Yeah.
if there's a dragon crossed with a human, like a really
Yeah,
thick
like
human.
Yeah.
He just looks like he lives in New York and he's just got his messenger bag. It's like, on my way to my shitty part-time job.
He's really into,
Dragonite.
really into baseball for whatever reason.
Sometimes I just like to relax with a Bud Light after a long day's work.
the long day of being a dragon.
Long day of being a messenger dragon for fucking Mewtwo. Hate my boss.
Wow.
How degrading is that? Like, as a Dragonite,
Oh yeah.
a cat, a big fancy robot cat is my boss.
I think he's a robot. I'm not quite sure. Hasn't been explained yet. Yeah, so also in this, Mewtwo controls the weather and does a lot of other questionable shit. He's not that powerful in the game.
Yeah, not at all.
He's pretty good, but like,
Wait, I mean, hold on. Can he summon? No, he can. Isn't he kind of able to do anything, type-wise?
no, he's still just like he's in the first game. There was a huge problem where ghost Pokemon were meant to be strong against psychic.
Okay.
And they say that both in the game, in the manual, all the literature, but they actually fucked up the code.
Oh.
So the ghost Pokemon were actually weak to psychic moves. They got the opposite of it. So that meant in the first generation of games, Pokemon Blue, Red, Green, and Yellow, psychic is weak to essentially nothing. You just have to fucking beat them down.
Yeah.
Or be like a couple of levels higher than whatever.
But wouldn't he...
So, and because the most powerful Pokemon, the big legendary Pokemon in that game is a wild Mewtwo, and he's psychic type. He was just like he was the OP Pokemon of the OP type.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, he couldn't do every move, but he had I think Psyball was his big move that he did, and he'd fucking kill you. I remember, I caught my Mewtwo with a Great Ball. You're meant to save your Master Ball for it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And he was both he was asleep and confused and stuff like that at the same time.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, and he had about 5 HP left, and that was the only way I could catch him.
But couldn't he learn regular moves couldn't he have in theory learned Whirlwind or Gust or whatever?
He had some weird moves that were out of his type. Hang on, I'll look it up for you now.
I'm only saying that because he theoretically then could have controlled the weather.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. It's just the originals. There's a lot of things he's doing though, like the whole brainwashing people and things. There's a good piss take comic of it online, where it's where they kind of recreate that scene where it's we made the most powerful Pokemon. It's he can control people, he can control the weather, he can destroy any Pokemon faced with him. Still can't learn more than 4 moves. Don't know why.
Excellent.
But yeah, hang on, let's see if I get his move set.
Parameters are hilarious.
Yeah.
Just in general.
His base set is ridiculous. I know that much.
Yeah.
I think. No, actually, do you know who you're thinking of?
Who?
Mew can learn every TM and HM.
Ah, okay. There we go.
That's Mew's strong suit. He has a couple of psychic moves that he learns, but you can teach him any move that's TM or HM.
Mewtwo can learn pretty much everyone.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna have to call bullshit on your kind of can't control the weather thing.
Well, he's multitasking a lot, so he's controlling some people as well as the weather, and manipulating all the shit at once. I think that's kind of the problem with it.
I buy it. I totally buy it. I think.
Okay, Joe, I've got you here now. Okay, shut the fuck up. Okay, I've got his move set from Generation 1.
Uh-huh.
He can naturally learn at level 75 Mist. That's an ice move. That's slightly weather related. And by TM, he can learn the only other thing that's remotely weather related is Blizzard.
But that's completely weather related.
Yeah, but it's not a rainstorm. What we saw in the movie was a rainstorm. That wasn't a
It's
blizzard.
not really a rainstorm move. That's not really practical in a...
Rainy Day was a move that came in Generation 3.
Yeah, but that's
Generation
not...
3,
you're
though.
looking up Generation 1
I don't
know. I think
Also,
we
Rainy
have
Day
you.
is useless.
I think you just need hoisted by your own petard, Kieran.
I think I have been. I think everyone just shut up and I'm right.
Oh wait, sorry, you're right. Sorry, yeah. You're right.
Oh yeah.
Of course. Sorry.
But yeah,
What happened again?
he is pretty powerful. This whole I don't know. It's kind of a weird concept of controlling this Pokemon if he can do all this shit.
I just love the whole Giovanni's plan of controlling Mewtwo to begin with was put on this armor, it'll make you stronger, etc., etc. And Mewtwo buys into it for a while because he promises him they'll be friends and stuff. And then
Partners.
later on he's just yeah, we're not partners. You're my servant. This is why would you say that to him?
And then the suit's not in any way controlling him.
No, he just takes it
It's
off.
you're just wearing a suit.
It's a chastity belt.
It is.
Yeah, which is not locked in any way. It just kind of comes off casually.
Like regular underwear,
Yeah.
I'd never thought about Pokemon underwear until this point.
Oh Jesus, not thinking hard enough.
So yeah, he invites them all to his lair.
And then there's the storm which he creates to stop them from stop everyone he invited to get to the lair. He invited 20 plus people or so.
Yeah.
And then okay, this is where shit gets crazy for me. So first of all, I was questioning, why is he even having the storm? Like, why not just invite 3 people?
Yeah.
And then
Of which Ash would not have been one of them because he's shit.
Definitely not. Like,
his Pikachu is a bit OP. Like, everyone's starter Pokemon, you just use them too much and they become like 20 levels higher than everything else you have.
yeah.
But then, okay, so first of all, they're all like rattling at the gate to go out into the storm, all these guys. First of all, I don't get that. There's been no reward offered for going to this tournament. Why are you risking your lives to go to it?
Oh, he's
not even been
said
like
to be a surprise or something. And people love surprises.
It's not like a birthday cake.
Exactly.
And then who is this crazy mystic woman who's suddenly in charge of the port?
What the hell was that about? That was so strange.
It's like, people are determined by their heart. We shan't go out tonight. It was in the stories that the storm would kill everyone. It's like, and the police are just going along with it.
She's just
like
tripping
Mr.
balls.
Roman said it, just like
My crystal ball said the storm is too dangerous, and the police are like, yep, seems sound. Do you want to call the meteorological society? No, I'm sure it's fine. I agree with this this weird gypsy woman who's here for us.
she has robes. If she has robes, she must be smart.
She's legit. Like, she got legit robes.
Yeah, pretty legit robes.
Oh god.
Yeah, then because the three people are like main characters are shit, they can't get to the island without a boat.
Which then Team Rocket come in with their
Pretending to be
Brit-
Norwegian.
pretending to be Viking, and
Sorry,
they do the
Vikings.
the most offensive Scandinavian, Norwegian, Danish, whatever accents ever.
It's super racist. Like,
Okay, but
So
then this is the most ridiculous shit in the world, because this never happened in any other, like, in any episode of the Pokemon series. This is why the movie's so weird. It actually deviates so much from what the cartoon was, because there's this weird moment that just completely rips you out of the film, especially for an American audience. I did not get it when I was younger. But while they're in the boat, and the 3 guys haven't realized that's Team Rocket,
yeah.
Brock just goes, I didn't realize there was Vikings left in the world. And like, Ash just goes,
yeah.
yeah, I think there's some still in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I was like, you just referenced an NFL team.
Yeah, that was so
That has never happened before. Pokemon does, okay, at this point, we can say Pokemon does not take place in the real world, because we're on the like 6th generation of games, and they have like several different continents, because it all takes place in a different world. So
and
like,
and they all have Pokemon.
yeah, they all have Pokemon. That's probably the first indicator. But like, in the movie where they explain Mew's origins, Mew is from Venezuela.
Of course.
They actually say Venezuela in the movie, or it's like Guyana, Colombia, or something like that. He's from South America somewhere. So people have always drawn these joke maps of the Pokemon world where they put in all the continents in the games, and then South America's just floating off in the corner. I was like, Mew
That makes
is
sense.
from here.
That makes sense. I like that. I like that a lot.
But like, I don't know what this Viking thing is, or why Minnesota is in it all of a sudden.
I wonder what that line is in the
Japanese
in the original.
version?
Yeah.
I have no fucking clue. I also don't think they're meant to be Vikings in the Japanese version, because that weird like scruffy hair with the horned helmet, that reminded me so much of Aiko.
Damn it.
But yeah, I think in the Japanese version, I think they're referencing some weird, like some ancient Japanese people, like type of people or something, some seafaring Japanese people, because I've seen that like style in other like animes and video games from Japan and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they're meant to be Vikings.
I mean, it isn't that far from kind of like samurai-ish stuff.
Yeah, like it could be from anywhere. Like the ancient world is a diverse place.
Yeah.
And
It
like
is.
4Kids take some pretty serious liberties on the dialogue.
I've heard that the ancient world is diverse, Kieran. Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay, but like,
Wow.
Vast, expansive oldness.
but and this is probably one of the moments I like Team Rocket in this entire movie, though, is when they get found out that they're not Team Rocket.
Yeah.
they just like, wait a minute, you're not Vikings, and then they all just rip off their costumes and like, haha, it's us, time for trouble and stuff like. It's like, yes, your plan has failed, but just own it, just own it. This is all a part of the plan. It's fine.
That was always their plan, though. There was always some sort of like deception.
Halfway
and then
between,
it
we'll
clearly
get figured
didn't
out.
work. Yeah, and they were just like broke into their monologue bit.
They definitely are the most fabulous of villains of all time.
Oh yeah, I still love the where they're named from. It's Jesse and James because they're named after Jesse James.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Meowth, of course. Yes.
Oh yeah, but like in the Japanese version of the show and the movie, they heavily imply that James is gay, and they just keep poking jokes at that.
Really?
Yeah, he's a dandy kind of character. He's pretty dandyish in like our show as well, but like
Yeah, he's quite dandy.
more so
How-
in the Japanese one.
How would you go about getting that hair, like that volume?
Which one? Like
Both.
Jesse's volume is far more impressive than James.
But even still, like he's got like great body to his hair. I mean, hers is insane. Like, but James's hair is quite thick and it's a good color too. But no, obviously Jesse's is out of this world. I mean, I would die for that hair. But I just don't know how to go about getting it.
Everyone I've seen cosplaying as Jesse has to put in like some sort of chicken wire scaffolding underneath their hair to get it to work.
If there are any professional hairstylists out there, email into videohomeshow@aol.co.uk and Joe will be in contact.
We'll pass on your details to Joe here.
I really hope that email address exists.
It
Oh,
does.
that's ours.
That's our email address.
What?
Yeah. We
shit,
originally
hold on.
wanted a Netscape email address, but they don't exist.
AOL closed down Netscape.
I'm pretty sure my dad still has an indigo.ie.
Oh yeah,
Email address.
Indigo.ie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
It's old school.
So yeah, any other like? Okay, we're now actually at the island.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the great thing when they get to the island finally, and Nurse Joy answers the door, and they're like, "Are you that missing nurse?" And she's like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And it's clean, and they just move on.
No,
Oh,
Brock
can-
still has that like pondering moment.
Yeah,
He's
Brock's like,
"Eh,"
"But you
but
look
then
so
just never brings it up.
familiar."
Can I just use
Oh, Brock.
can I use this kind of like this bit to talk about how much of a pervert Brock is?
Oh, he's a massive
Oh,
pervert,
yeah.
but in this
Yeah.
movie, they're showing that his pervert powers are helping him deduce and like figure out crime.
No,
Force
that's
for
not
good.
okay. That is not okay. You cannot justify his perviness because sometimes it helps him.
Joe,
help
he's
people.
saving
seems like-
lives.
But he's also
That seems like some sort of
he is a crotch sniff.
yeah, he is a bit, but like I feel like that should be some sort of like house / would you lie to me esque kind of show where they just like bring in this guy who's like a massive pervert and no one really wants to work with him, but damn it, is he the best at ever finding missing attractive people? If you're
good
attractive,
looking,
he'll find
worry.
you.
Don't worry. Brock's got you covered.
Brock's got you covered. He's like fucking Sherlock, the new Sherlock with BBC, just being like, yeah, and it's like he just reads it and it's like, but he's only able to read really good-looking people and find out where they.
He's just like if someone who's like moderately less attractive than someone else, he's just like, they'll turn up.
They'll be fine, don't worry. Ugly people problems. They're better off dead.
Anyway, I think Brock is a terrible character. I think he's a pervert. I think he should be stricken from the record. I think he should be removed from the canon.
I think if you
Well,
remove
he kind of
Brock's-
was, because like he's not in the show anymore.
Oh yeah, they replaced him for a while with Tracy.
And then I think they replaced him again.
Yeah, it's gone now. He's fairly gone. He came back for a bit. Tracy
Yeah.
was the guy they brought in to promote fucking Pokesnap. Oh, what is it? What's that movie? What's that game called again for Nintendo 64?
I don't know. I'm not really into Pokemon, to be honest.
Glad we brought you on, Joe.
Joe, shut up.
I'm only kidding.
We'll just edit that out. I'm Joe. I'm really into Pokemon.
Just edit bits together. So
Hugh, do you remember that game? What was that game where you
the camera thing.
Yeah, where you were just like, they brought in
game.
Yeah, for N64.
Yeah,
They brought in a guy called Tracy who was a Pokemon photographer to
Yeah,
basically just promote that game from the show.
Yeah, we're kind of forgetting the entire point of Pokemon, that it was just one big massive
Just
sales
sell
pitch.
games.
Promotion,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And they had to do a movie about the two rarest Pokemon in the game. Like Mew, you could only get through special event, and then like in 2001 they found a glitch where you're actually able to get the Pokemon without the special event.
Yeah, because this was back in the time when special event meant you plugged your Game Boy into something. They couldn't do a system where they transferred any data at all. The data had to be on the cartridge.
Yeah, there'd be a guy at like Toys R Us in the States where you'd go and be like, give me your Pokemon card, and then he'd give it back to you at the end of the time at Toys R Us, and you'd have a Mew. Which is kind of cool and kind of sad that it doesn't exist anymore. That kind of thing. And they still do like big live events, because there's always, every generation has one Pokemon that's not in the game to be found. His data's there, but you can't find him through in-game events.
The way to get Mew they finally figured out is incredibly complicated. Like the series of events that needs to happen for that like hex number to have coincidentally come up by accident is like, I think there's like 5 or 6 different steps you have to take in a very particular order, or else it just doesn't happen.
Jesus.
And even then the chance of it is something like 25% of the time. Once you've done all those things, the thing will work. Because it just works. It accidentally works in Mew's hex number into the wild Pokemon generator bit for the area.
So yeah, that you fly away and you fly back, and then the first Pokemon you encounter will be a Mew, and you're able to catch it.
In theory,
yeah, it's like you have to find an Oddish in this one particular piece of grass, and then it's actually like really complex, but it's amazing they found a way to like hack it, because those events to find Mew don't exist anymore.
Have you seen the any speedruns?
They should.
They should exist.
Pokemon speedruns.
Yeah.
No.
I saw someone beat the world record in the last like 2 or 3 months, and he completes Blue in something like 12-15 minutes.
Yeah, there's some like crazy glitches you can use.
It's insane. Like it's really.
Did you see the Legend of Zelda one?
Oh yeah,
that one was big, where he found a new way of doing it, and he fucking lost his mind when he did. It's crazy to watch.
No way.
Yeah. Speedruns are fun.
Speedruns
are fun.
Did he discover it live on stream?
Yeah, he did it live on stream.
That's so cool.
Because he always he tests them in private and kind of thing, and he tries it, and he's saying like, okay, but then like when he's going for a serious attempt, he'll live stream it, and he's done it like 12 times before. But then he live streamed this one time, and he actually got it, and everyone was watching, and he fucking lost his goddamn mind.
I think I think the glitch brings you to like a particular dungeon, depending on like your timing of manipulating the glitch. So like normally it would bring you quite far further into the game, but then like this one time it just brought him basically to the end.
And is it a kind of like a teleporty kind of glitch, or is it when you kind of walk through the outside of the world?
It's a bunch of teleporty glitches. He has to go to like the first dungeon, the Deku tree, and like he goes into the boss, and then he steps back out from the boss and things like that. There was like several different 1,000 glitches, and he did like a live commentary video afterwards where he just like overdubbed him actually playing it and explaining and giving the username of every person he met online who discovered the glitch he used to make the record.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's really cool.
So I didn't realize until I watched the video how communal the whole speedrunning community is.
Oh man, it's
really
amazing.
fun.
You should watch every well, they do 2 a year. It's like summer games done quick and winter games done quick, I think.
Yeah.
And it's over Doctors Their Frontiers, and whenever it's on, I sit down for like 3 or 4 days and watch every game that goes on, because it's so much crack. Well, I mean, it's no crack at all really, but it's something to do. Sorry. Pokemon.
Okay.
The Pokemon movie.
We're now on New Island, as it's called, isn't it?
Yeah. New Island. Yeah.
Yeah. New Island, which looks badass and spooky. I kind of liked it. But then here's the first fucking Pokemon discrepancy.
Cool.
So one of the trainers who makes it is just like, he's like, how do you guys make it to the island? And he just turns to his Pokemon and is like, those whirlwinds are no trouble for my Pidgeotto. That's a Pidgeot.
I knew it was a Pidgeot.
Yeah.
I fucking knew it.
I was like, dumbass.
Pidgeotto is a better name though. Maybe it's a nickname Pidgeotto to be confusing.
Maybe. I have Pidgeotto written down because the dialogue couldn't possibly have been wrong. I must have been wrong. But yeah, it was Pidgeot.
But even the 4 kids don't know what Pokemon is. They just write whatever.
I have done that where I played through Pokemon once and I named all my Pokemon Charmander. I just caught them and nicknamed them Charmander. That's amazing. I started with Bulbasaur. I didn't have a Charmander.
I every single time I ever played, I always called Gary Ass.
Oh, nice, of course.
Yeah. Just always Ass. This is my his grandson, Ass. Have you met Ass before? Sorry.
I love no, I do. I love doing fuck comma I. Like fuck comma and then a capital I, so it just makes it sound like everyone's just like fucking can't think straight. I was like, hello, fuck I. Welcome to the world of Pokemon.
That's much better. That's really twisted, actually. You're projecting speech impediments upon people.
Yeah.
Everyone. Okay. So then Mewtwo comes out. He starts murdering a guy.
Yeah. Oh, no, because the guy's just like, you're a Pokemon. That means there's no reason I can't catch you.
Yeah.
It's like, well now.
There's actually a couple of rules where you can't catch Pokemon, but yeah. Sure. And then, like, I love Misty in this scene. Who's fucking brilliant. I also
Misty
don't
hasn't
understand
said a lot for a lot of the movie. So
why
far.
are Misty and Brock there? It's just like I invite, like if I was Mewtwo or Nurse Joy, I'd turn around and was like, actually, we invited these particular trainers. What the fuck are you two doing here?
You?
Yeah, they're kind of Ash's handlers, though, aren't they?
Entourage. Okay,
handlers.
handler slash entourage. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely because
Like the version of Ash in the Japanese like show Satoshi is like like you know where Ash is a bit annoying and a bit dull.
Yeah.
Satoshi's just a complete asshole. Like the majority, because there's a couple of the episodes that never got dubbed. Like I've watched the Japanese version. You're just like,
Well, there's only-
Ash is very abrupt and like a bit of a dick to everybody. Good thing Brock and Misty are there to like level the situation up.
that's the episode where they have guns in it, isn't it?
Oh yeah, where he catches all the Tauros, and then there's the Porygon episode of the seizures as well.
That got dubbed, didn't it?
It didn't. It got dubbed for the
Toro
I
one
think,
did.
like,
The Taurus one didn't.
it didn't. No.
No?
No, because, like,
Well,
If
they
you
bring it
watch-
up a lot later, but the actual
okay.
episode where he catches them isn't in the show.
Okay.
Yeah, because then there's like that one episode where he goes back to Pallet Town and he visits Professor Oak, and there's like, here's all your Pokemon. He's got a herd of Tauros, and I was like, where the fucking shit did those come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in that episode, the guy runs the Safari Zone, just has a revolver and keeps shooting at people all the time.
He's meant to be an American stereotype.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's the best.
Amazing.
But it's like kids starts firing shots at them kind of wildly. It's like, what's happening? But like, yeah,
But anyway,
Ash
Misty
is a bit of a dick.
Misty
in
at
the
this
Japanese
point
version.
has just been completely useless, and she's going to continue to be completely useless because
Yeah.
Mewtwo basically explains his entire agenda and like what he's going to do to people. Summing it up, he basically says, "I'm Pokemon Hitler. I'm going to kill these types of Pokemon because I believe these types of Pokemon are superior."
Yeah.
To which
Misty's
point,
just like, you're a bully.
yeah, Misty just shouts out, "You're just a bully!" Well done,
That's
well
like,
done.
oh, Misty
well
hasn't
done,
said
Misty.
anything in ages. No wonder.
Oh, there she is at like a right wing Mussolini like kind of rally, and she like goes up to Mussolini. "You're just a bully."
It's like,
I was like, "Oh, I guess you're right. I'll stop my evil ways now."
yeah.
Yeah, she's a dope. She did save everyone's life though, with her like Staryu. Didn't she?
Oh yeah, she did. Yeah, that's fair.
true,
The
that's
Staryu was quite useful.
Yeah. You got.
Am I the only one who thinks Staryu is god awful as a Pokemon?
That's shocking. Like, there's so many bad
In
Pokemon.
the game,
Like,
yeah.
so is
Also,
Staryu.
it's not like you can't be like friends with it like most of the other Pokemon where they're kind of a bit like cuddly or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of this weird star
Starfish robot.
who's just like, yeah. That's the way
the
it's called.
sound it makes. Yeah.
Why does?
Why is there like? There's just this like.
It's like, hey Staryu, how are you today? Yeah.
Staryu is just this large like robot starfish, and all that's inside is a vinyl record of like the best compilation of martial arts sound library. Make your own martial arts movie with this fantastic sound library.
That wouldn't make.
It's got a big button in the middle. Beep.
Yeah,
That would make sense. You'd have to be waterproof as well.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. All the best toys
Don't-
are waterproof.
Don't be silly. Come on.
Who's funding Mewtwo's research?
That was one of my questions. Yeah. Who I think he's just using the equipment left over from the lab he destroyed.
But didn't he rebuilt it because it was
Yeah.
destroyed? So he built it again. But wouldn't he needed to buy new gear?
I think he
Really?
probably mind controlled some contractors, had them fly over to
I feel
the
like that
Yes.
was the case. I feel like there was a lot of like scientists on his team, and he was like mind controlling them and using their knowledge. But then like just one day they just walk off the side of the lighthouse and they're gone
Yeah.
into the ocean.
Yeah, he made them walk into the ocean and die.
God, he really was a
Yeah.
dick, wasn't he? Man.
Yeah. I love
I
like they do the thing they did in the show a lot as well, where everyone was kind of exasperated with something, and then Pikachu would also say something, but like would just be like Pika Pika, and you'd be like, what does Pikachu mean there? I'd love if there was weird subtitles for Pikachu, like
Yeah.
he was really street or
Definitely.
something.
I'm sure that exists somewhere online where someone's just taken
Someone's
like
done that, yeah.
someone's done like an episode of Pokemon where they just sub
But it would
all
make
the
sense
Pokemon.
because like there are parts where like a Pokemon will Meowth will translate for somebody or whatever. So like it stands to
Yeah.
reason that they are all saying actual translatable things. Is translatable a word?
Yeah, they all have like, they're all sapient. Like they all have like thought processes, which makes the whole action of stuffing them in tiny balls and making them
Yeah.
fight to the death.
Really,
Kind of
really
questionable.
twisted. Like
Even if they
Pikachu
weren't
had some good
sapient,
points.
even if they weren't sapient, it's still quite questionable.
poor
that
old
them do that.
Jigglypuff. Like what is?
Wait, what are you saying, Kieran?
What, making Pokemon fight is awful?
Yeah,
No,
is
do
it-
you say sapient?
Yeah, sapient is the correct word.
Oh.
Sentient is wisdom, and
Oh.
it's a Buddhist concept. Sapient means human-like.
No one ever says
Yeah.
sapient.
Yeah, I know, because they're all
I wasn't
wrong.
going to call him on it because
That's
there's the
fine.
off chance that he was right.
No, I was just making sure.
Yeah, don't worry. It's yeah. Look it up. It's like the definition of sapient, and it's like oftentimes people will use the word sentient when
Oh.
they mean sapient.
Well, I mean, like, I mean a lot of things.
Yeah,
You don't know what I mean.
Maybe you're wrong. Maybe you've inferred the wrong meaning.
Hey, Kieran, pass me that sentience over there. Yeah, that delicious sentience. Do you mean this chocolate roll?
The
Yeah,
proverbial
yeah.
sentience.
Pass that over that sentience. So you mean this chocolate log? Yeah, whatever. The
I'm
chocolate.
going down to
sentience.
the sentience. Would you like anything?
Yeah. Grab me a couple of cans of sentience.
Savage.
No, not that. I meant sapiens. Oh, it's the worst
Oh
soda.
god! Pass me the sapience log.
Cool.
But then
Yep. Then this is the point of the film, I think, where Team Rocket stumble onto the cloning lab and find all the records and stuff.
And they're just like, who's that Pokemon?
It's like that's also
that
getting
was
weirdly
awful.
meta
That was really
Yeah.
awful.
for me.
Yeah.
Really forced.
It was funny
Yeah.
the first time they said it.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
kept
big
doing
time.
it.
I like the first time James said it because I could totally imagine the full audio recording. He was like, "Who's that Pokemon?" For fuck's sake, I can't believe I fucking did it. It was like, we'll just cut that out, Jerry.
I think you're confusing James with the person who plays James. I don't think the person who plays James would have given the shit. I think James as a character, if he was a real person, probably would have been like, "Oh God, why did I say that?"
Oh, I feel dirty now. But yeah, I thought that I thought it was a shame that they actually had that bit at the beginning, like explaining where Mewtwo came from, like holding your hand, because I thought the VHS records were far creepier and a better way of doing it. But since they
Yeah.
did the bit at the beginning, the VHS records are just completely useless.
That's true. I don't
Useless.
disagree with you, but yeah. Kids, you
Yeah.
need to tell the kids what's happening.
Everything twice, apparently.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a good half hour between that and when you actually find out what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, so then they start making all the Pokemon, and like upstairs all the Pokemon be caught in those weird creepy ball things.
Yeah, they're like flying master balls. aren't
Yeah.
they?
And the cloning machine is
Sorry.
really weird, gross. Oh, come on.
Ah, high class.
The cloning machine makes that really weird, gross birthing
it
noise.
does.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The like Pokemon were just coming out of this weird like mesh screen. It was just like,
Oh, man, don't do it. Don't make the
Yeah.
noise, man, please.
oh yeah, this is the second big discrepancy in the film with the Pokemon, where they're like, "Who's that Pokemon?" and they keep saying the Pokemon that are getting caught upstairs and
Yeah.
they're being cloned.
Yeah.
They catch a Scyther. A Scyther comes up on screen.
No
They say
way.
Alakazam. Yeah. And then it was
That's-
like
That's pretty bad.
Alakazam, and then like Mew looks at all the Pokemon in in the thing, and he's looking at a sand slash, and he says "sand true," and like, and there's a Nidoqueen colored to look like a Nidoking.
King. That actually confused me a lot.
Yeah.
I'd looked it up because I thought I messed it up. I thought I messed up my data mining. First Pidgeot and then that.
Yeah.
Bastards.
That's pretty bad. Though I
And
mean, I can suspend my belief that Team Rocket just don't know which Pokemon are which.
So they're just grossly incompetent.
Well, like they
That's
are.
true, yeah.
Yeah.
They are grossly incompetent. It's a fair point.
In fairness, they actually, whenever you see them in the episode and they're looking at a new Pokemon, and yeah, the Pokemon's new to Ash and Brock and Misty, who have an age range of 10 to 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's these two grown adults who was like, "Ooh, that Pokemon looks interesting. I wonder what it is."
We better wait for Ash to tell us.
Yeah, right. They'll just catch it to be safe.
No, yeah.
But like, oh yeah, and in the background there's Mew,
Mm.
and then they start fighting, and then this like big fight scene becomes a big giant mess.
Yeah.
Oh, the Charizard fight scene's good.
That is good.
Yeah, where he's
Because
like,
they differentiate them that one is stripy and one is not stripy. Whereas all the other ones
Yeah.
kind of look the same. It's pretty
Yeah.
confusing.
Well, there's like patches on the Bulbasaur on the Ivy's on the
all
on
the all the clone
That's true,
Pokemon
yeah.
have these like weird
Yeah.
tribal tattoo things going on.
yeah, the Ivysaur, the Blastoise, and Charizard do, but the only actual good fight is the Charizard one.
Yeah. The but this is okay. This point I'll tell you the big difference between the Japanese movie and like the one we watched. So
Spoiler alert.
yeah, Mew and Mewtwo are fighting each other, right?
Mm.
And Meowth is the only one who's translating what Mew says because Mewtwo talks with like his psychic voice. Where he's
Yeah.
talking. What I assume it is, which is really creepy now that I think about it, is he just talks directly into everyone's head. That would be terrifying.
Kind of like how I do.
Yeah.
From the internet.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Calling back to the start of the show. It's amazing. I like that.
Bring it all home, guys.
Snappy.
It's the meta show that's going on in the background.
So yeah, that's all like happening, and then Meowth is translating for Mew in the show, and he's like, and Mew's like, "Oh, you should stop fighting, and Pokemon should be equal, and Mew's great." But then, at the end, like in the Japanese Pokemon movie,
Mm.
Mew talks with a voice in the same way Mewtwo does, but his voice is friendlier. Mew's like all deep and slightly gruff, or Mewtwo is all deep and slightly gruff, and Mew is like a bit more childish, and I think it's actually voiced by a woman.
Okay.
But Mew
Dare they?
is talking about Mew's talking about how manufactured life is not the same as real life, and they should all be destroyed.
Right. That explains the fight a lot more.
Yeah, the point of the fight is that they're actually fighting ideologically over like the right for clones to exist, which kind of makes Mewtwo look more like the good guy.
Well, no,
In my-
yeah, but like Mewtwo's created all these clones kind of like by force.
Yeah, but
To fight.
Mew was also arguing the fact that Mewtwo shouldn't exist,
Yeah, well.
which is a bit tougher. But
Yeah.
then like the whole
Which is,
the whole point of the movie is that while this fight is happening, Ash gets petrified, which is what happens to this, and that kind of stops it because, like the whole point, like the protagonists of the film, like Ash and everyone else, are trying to get everyone else to stop fighting because it's like, hey, we can all get along,
During the crazy pop ballad.
Yeah.
rather than with the crazy pop out, rather than what the American
God, that
film
song
is,
sucks.
which is Mew is right, we're on his side, Mewtwo, calm the fuck down.
Oh yeah, but that's because American kids don't understand complex arguments.
Okay, this movie at this point has brought in the concept that fighting is wrong. That's all right.
Yeah.
But they're also questioning what is life.
Yeah.
When there's a clone of you, are you still you? The ethical treatment of clones, if they should exist. This movie's bringing in some fucking harsh themes for these kids to like deal
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta look at like Harry Potter as well. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in America because the Philosopher's Stone sounds too deep or it wouldn't sell or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the same story. The kid's parents still get murdered.
I have the
Do you know what I
I
mean?
have the American version. I think it's like the 5th or 6th book. I remember reading it, being like, "Oh, the Sorcerer's Stone. What is that?" because I just happened to have bought the book in America, and I was really confused for like a good 3 or 4 chapters when they'd mentioned it a couple of times, and they were just
I
like,
can imagine.
I looked it up later. I was like, oh, of course, it makes perfect sense. Idiots.
It's pathetic. I hate that shit.
It's just like it's someone in a room who like the publisher decided that, as opposed to it being like an actual like a thing that everyone agreed was a good idea. I guess.
Talking back then, talking about that actually though is talking about Harry Potter in particular in that instance. First of all, that was done when it was Scholastic in the UK published Harry Potter, I think it was, or something like that, and then Viz in the States published it.
Okay.
Which is like the child subsidiary of some bigger publisher.
Yeah.
Anyway, Viz. This was before they both got it at the same time. It wasn't like Harry Potter became successful in the UK before making it to the States.
No, yeah.
So in the States, they're like, oh, we need to try sell this because there was no guarantee this book was going to do well. So they came up with this like, and as far as I know, the guy who made that suggestion has been fired.
All right.
Really?
And they just kind of had to.
Good.
And they just had to deal with it because it became successful while being called the Sorcerer's Stone. It was like, oh, we can't.
They can't change it now. Yeah, you can't retcon that.
I hope he never finds work again, and I wish nothing but unpleasantness for his family forever.
And as far as I know, good heart. As far as I know,
I'm sure he said it in passing on a median, and people were like, "That's
sure
not a bad idea, Jim." A couple of
Hang
years
him.
later, I'm sorry, Jim. We've killed your family.
We've also salted your earth, so nothing will ever grow there again.
And by salted the earth, we made you infertile. But like, yeah, like, and J.K. Rowling has said that was like her biggest regret ever is like
I
letting
didn't
that
have
happen.
agree into that. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
Four
I'd not.
Kids has quite a reputation for doing stuff like this with
Anime,
like
particularly.
anime they've translated. Like the Yu-Gi-Oh is rife of it, where characters will say things that seem really weird and like demeaning to them or to like some group, and then
You're
you
such
look
a
at
digital dummy.
No, like the stuff like that that like Taya says and stuff, which make her sound like an idiot all the time. But in the Japanese version, her character isn't actually like that. They just kind of change it because they're like, oh, this will sell better. And they're like, really, will it? I don't think you're right. This is just a weird misconception.
Weirdly enough, I was reading a thread today on Reddit about esports commentators.
Yeah.
And they were criticizing this girl. What's her name? Lil Susie, I think. And she's like the kind of go-to translator for StarCraft. And this Korean guy was like, every time she translates something, she gets 90% of it wrong, and she dumbs down. She's Korean, but she dumbs down everything these players say for whatever reason. Like, these guys are like trash talking each other and kind of like just having the crack. And every single interview is like, yeah, he said it was a really good game. I thought I was gonna lose, but then I won, and that guy was a really good opponent. And that's like 90% of the interviews because she's not arsed to actually. I don't know what the reason is. Like, I don't know why she doesn't actually say it as it is, because other commentators do it properly, and it's really obvious now that she's
been kind of fluffing it, like.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is like that. If it's to that extent, there's probably a reason at some point where they decided like, oh, English speakers won't like the brash nature of all the players, so we're gonna make it sound like they're all quite nice or something.
But the thing is, it's the English players that do want the brash nature.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I think it's the same like this effectively thing in the Pokemon movie, where that's not like it's not necessarily correct that like, oh, the American audience won't understand this complex storyline. We'll just change it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like someone decided at one point that was the case, and then it just
some
stuck.
suit.
Yeah.
Some fucking suit. I bet it was the man. The man came in and changed my movie.
like,
Suit bastards.
The 90s was also a different time for like where like the West was adjusting to what anime was, because anime kind of has this more like particularly Pokemon is for a younger age group, but it is for like I would say 9 to 15 kind of age group.
25.
25, yeah.
Why
Of
stop
course.
there?
Why stop there?
Yeah, exactly.
But like
How old is that guy who challenges Ash at the start?
too old.
Absolutely.
It's Louis C.K. like
Yeah.
Sorry,
it's his age.
the guy who won the Pokemon World Championship last year was like 30 something.
Oh yeah, I'm
he,
sure
like,
it was.
he came along and he just like smashed the shit out of loads of kids. it was pure like Frank Grimes episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
It was like he's this like fat balding dude who came along and annihilated everybody. Sorry.
But yeah, like
He's in a contest for children. Yeah, and he showed those kids who's boss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so good.
in Japan though, like the West was starting to translate anime because anime was becoming popular because of Pokemon and because of other things.
Yeah.
But then like the West was also trying to deal with the fact that we can't just translate this to fit our needs, because in Japan anime can be for, and often is for, an older audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Especially the ones that are really popular here, because anime for like toddlers and stuff in Japan is like a very different style,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and like that's not as popular in the US and Europe and stuff. So like they were trying to translate all these things that were aiming for like probably a couple of years ahead in the target market. So yeah, all these kind of things where they like dumb things down a bit, that does happen, but that's because they took something that was for one demo and then try to make it for another demo.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
I guess with a lot of anime, there is kind of running themes of like you can put a lot of Japanese folklore in it, and people will get it the same
Yeah.
way that if you made a movie and you could put lots of like English language tropes in
Well,
movies,
actually-
and people will understand what you mean by it. Like they'll assert
Yeah.
a lot from like some vague mention of something.
A good example-
Still though, I mean,
A good,
go on, go on.
a good example of that, what he was talking about, is actually Harry Potter itself, because I can't imagine translating all the goddamn Latin in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like English speakers, French speakers, a lot of like European language speakers can understand because of root words and stuff like that what this kind of Latin stuff means. Like Leviosa is similar to the word levitate. Bombarda is similar to the word bombard. What does it do? It makes things explode.
Yeah.
Like it's that's where shit gets really difficult to translate.
But still, though, I mean, it doesn't really give a good reason why you'd take something like the moral question of cloning away from.
Oh yeah, no, like that is a giant mistake. Trying to change something's demo after it's already been made is always a mistake. That was
Yeah,
that was
I reckon
Small
it's just like
Soldiers again.
if you bring in a team to rework something to remove all the things that people just won't get, and then they end up removing something like that
Crucial.
they shouldn't have taken out, because
Yeah.
it seemed like to them, while they were taking out all the stuff that actually needed to be taken out for it to make sense, they just took out something like massive and just reworked the movie in a way it didn't.
Yeah, you kind of like you don't realize until near the end of the film they've kind of like removed the crux of the film.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That rock ballad was the crux of the film, Joe. That's what
That is true.
They were built.
That-
They commissioned the song to make the movie around the song.
That reminded me so much of that bit reminded me so much of the end of Green Street. In that film, the football film.
Yeah.
They have that it's like the middle of like a massive brawl in the docklands in London somewhere.
Yeah.
And that this song comes in and it's like it's a direct rip off of Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits.
Yeah. It is.
And I can't remember how it goes, but it's the exact same tone. That sound like, why are we all fighting? We're all humans. Well, Pokemon and humans.
Pokemon and
Blah, blah.
humans.
But you should watch that film, right? Don't watch the film, it's a terrible film. But watch that scene and listen to the music and compare it to Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits, because it is a carbon copy. Just, I'm not saying Dire Straits are good, just this is way worse.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you didn't like Dire Straits' album, Brother in Arms, you will hate this.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But yeah, like it was the same when we were discussing the Small Soldiers movie, because I think like when that was at scripting phase, we were pretty sure that was trying to be the next Gremlins. That was for an older audience that it ended up being for, and it becomes a bit of a mess. Like changing demos is always a mess.
Yeah.
But it happens far too much, especially when you have like movies want to become bigger and bigger, so they'll always try, no matter what the message of the movie is, they'll always try lower the parental guidance rating.
Yeah.
And
To make, yeah.
you get
So-
things like Transformers, fucking 4, explosions galore, violence and stuff like that. Which it's a terrible movie, but you get it with like a fucking PG rating.
Yeah.
So-
Or like you frequently see stuff like a lot of movies that come out here like Hunger Games and that.
Yeah.
In order to not get a 15s rating in the US. They just digitally remove all the blood that they did as practical effects,
Yeah.
and then it gets the whatever the PG-13 rating instead, which will like essentially double their profits. Like a lot more people will see it because a lot more cinemas will actually show the movie.
The same in games in Korea as well. Games in Korea are very strict on gore.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, a lot of that as well. Like, oh, anyway, but yeah, the rock song moment.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, well, they're all fighting.
They're all fighting, and yeah, okay. Then this is the fucking crux of this.
Actually, no, I just want to say just before the bit where they're all fighting, Mewtwo is basically like, now that I defeated these 3 like young adults / children, I can rule the world. My plan is in motion now.
And there's fucking NATO just being like, okay, yeah.
Hopefully none of the
they
governments
beat
know
Ash.
this.
We beat Ash. Everyone lay down arms.
They beat Ash Ketchum from Palatine.
That guy's infamous. I heard he was that guy with that Don fan earlier this week.
Yeah.
Shit.
Sick.
That guy was from Special Ops. But yeah, that's. But then Brock comes out with a line. So as we were talking about, there's the crux of the film of the original cut of this film.
Yeah.
But then there's the crux of what became the crux of this film, this horrible mangled cut film, which is Brock's line: "Pokemon are not meant to fight, comma, not like this."
Only for man's amusement.
This is a fine line we're walking here. Jesus.
That's so twisted.
It was like
It's pretty bad.
the entire franchise built on the concept of making Pokemon fight, and then they just go, Pokemon are not meant to fight.
Just for example,
like this.
Like this.
just imagine for a second that Pokemon weren't Pokemon, but was set in this universe, and we use household pets.
Oh yeah,
and animals.
You mean dog fighting?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's
Like,
they mentioned
you gotta-
they mentioned that in 30 Rock, which is just like when they're talking about celebrity immunity, basically, and like
Yeah.
Tracy Jordan and like Jack Donaghy, he's talking to Tracy Jordan. He's like, "Don't worry, Tracy, you can do anything. We can cover it up and we can PR spin it. And it'll be fine." And then he's just leaving the room. He's like, "Wait a second, hang on. Except dog fighting. No one can fix dog fighting." And then the entire episode is about Tracy just wanting to start dog fighting because he's been told he can't.
Yeah.
I remember that. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no, like I want to see the alternate reality. Sorry, the real reality, the alternate reality, the actual reality version of, you know, like I don't know, a bear fighting a kitten that lives in a tiny little ball.
Erising versus like
Well, like they used to like that used to be a thing. You'd like have prize fights between like large animals. Used to be a thing, and I can't remember. I think it was mentioned.
Bring it back.
Yeah, well, like it's not very. It's very expensive. Also, the ethics.
also the ethics. Never mind the profit margins.
Yeah.
We ever get a live action Pokemon?
There was that was actually quite successful. There was that fake trailer.
Oh, that was very good.
That was so good. And what they did with it, they made that fake trailer, but instead of just releasing it straight to the internet, they went around the country, and this is the United States, they went around the country and did quote-unquote test screenings.
Yeah.
No way.
Making people think it was a real film that was going to happen.
No way.
So
So
it leaked
before
onto
they-
the internet because someone had recorded it.
Yeah, so before it even got to the internet, there was just the last 5 seconds of someone pulling out their phone and being like, holy shit, I have to show this to the world kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he like only when he realized what it was. It's so
man.
good.
It's very well made as well. Like it's pretty good.
But it's also hilarious. It's like, I want to be the best there ever was. But Ash, there is no one left. It's just us now.
Excellent.
Oh, something to that effect. It's so good. But like a live action Pokemon film, I really hope not. And I kind of hope the Pokemon is just going to be the never ending franchise like Mario, and no one will be able to ever really touch it. So,
Yeah.
other than Nintendo.
The ownership of the Pokemon company is quite strange because it's a separate company to run all of its business, like all of its like massive media empire. So I think Nintendo do own most of it, but I don't think they're the only stakeholders in the Pokemon company.
I think they did eventually buy out the whole thing, because the reason they got a stake in it was because it was independent developers for a while until they approached a guy from Nintendo, Satoshi something. That's why Ash is named after Satoshi. Yeah, and that's one of the default names in the Japanese game. When you're picking a name at the beginning, and it gives you like
Satoshi.
enter your own. Yeah, Satoshi is the default name because of the guy who helped them out. Basically, he came in as like what are they called? They're called like in tech companies. I think they're called angels or something.
Sound lads.
Yeah, basically, they're just they're people from,
Angel
like,
investors, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of angel investors. Yeah, they're people who have like shitloads of experience in the field as well as money to donate as capital, rather than just people who have capital.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, Nintendo have like a huge stake in Pokemon, but it is a separate company, even though they kind of treat it as if it's a core brand like Mario or Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, no, they do, but it's I think it's owned by like there's other stakes in it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Separate.
I really hope a live action movie never happens. It would be weird.
I don't think it will happen.
Nah.
Like,
I'd be so into it.
I'd be very into it as well. I think the thing is, I think we'd be a lot more into it than any of their actual like target age range.
I think that
Yeah, maybe.
I think the other problem is we'd be really into it in the same way we're really into doing a podcast about shit cartoons from the 90s.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Although, I mean, I think I could
What are
definitely
you
do
saying,
a more.
Kieran?
Yeah. This is brilliant. What are you talking about? This is critical analysis of a classic.
Yeah.
But then, okay, anything else about the ending?
Ash is dead. I was really happy when that happened.
But no, Pikachu cries at him and he's fine.
No, but you guys just turned off the movie then. You were just, yeah, right? Like, that's what I did.
So
It was like,
basically
yes, end.
At the end of the film, slave tears cured the oppressor boy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
If you're looking at it from Mewtwo's point of view.
Also, when someone discovers that Pokemon tears have medicinal qualities.
Oh god, that's going to be a dangerous road that you go down. That's why Mewtwo had to wipe everyone's memory at the end of it.
Yeah, because
Oh,
he was
yeah.
that
Eradicates
was that
the
reason.
entire movie.
Yeah.
So
It's
good.
like it removes itself from the canon. It knew how bad it was.
Oh, it was so ridiculous.
It pretty much pulled a, and then we woke up.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was
Then
like
I turned
it was
off the
all a
television
dream.
and walked outside.
Well, actually,
I want
it's not clear whether Mewtwo removes everyone's memories or he turns back time.
He removes everyone's memories.
But no,
Yeah.
then they go back to the moment where everyone's trying to leave the Pokemon Center or the harbor to go to the island.
No, but there's
Oh, yeah.
a future movie where they like these events matter again.
But like, why did they send him back in time?
Because he can't do that.
But he did.
Well, nothing in this film worked.
No, nothing in this film does work. That's why they had to retcon all of it. They were just like, they wrote this film chronologically, which is a bad thing. They wrote like the ending last, and then they were
Yeah.
like, wait, hang on, everything up to this point was a mess.
How did we
Remove
get here?
everyone's memories.
But like it doesn't even like make itself. The fights aren't good. The dialogue is just abysmal. The storyline is messy, as you said.
Yeah.
Like after all said and done, I'm really upset that you made me watch it again.
This is a running theme of the podcast, Joe. Someone is upset by the events that have taken place.
Excellent.
Someone made someone else watch something, and now we're sad.
Yeah, which one of us remembers was good, and then it turns out no one was right. It was terrible.
You should make that sentence the name of the podcast.
No, that's basically our tagline.
Yeah.
Nothing is good. Everything is shite. One day we'll all die.
Amazing.
Hugh could probably tell you for hours about like me forcing him to watch USA High.
Oh
It just
my God.
I'd never heard of it before.
It was huge.
No, it wasn't. It was a
What
low budget
about-
cable version of Saved
what
by the
about-
Bell.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was made by the same guy. It was made by Peter Enge.
Oh man. Speaking of crap cartoons that are making films, Gem and the Holograms
Yeah.
is coming back with a film, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I was talking to you like last weekend. I think you're probably too drunk to remember. We were talking about this, but I mentioned
Sorry.
it is made with the same studio who made Sharknado.
Oh, amazing.
And they're
yes.
using actresses from Sharknado to make Gem and the Holograms.
Amazing.
So,
is it live action?
yeah.
What?
Yeah. So,
Okay, I'm
all right,
definitely
Hugh,
watching that.
Yeah.
how many gems out of the holograms would you give this film?
2?
That's perfect. That's the perfect score.
I'm not really sure how that works.
This was a giant mess. This film.
You my friends,
The-
Jerry girls.
The dialogue of this film was like a martial arts film. That is something I do think happened there.
Yeah.
It was a
Big
bit-
time.
uh,
But that's why I love the raid. The raid is perfect because the raid doesn't try and have good dialogue.
Yeah, that's the point of a lot. That's what a lot of martial arts films do these nowadays. They let the action carry it.
Yeah, but
this
that's
is
what
a
they should have done
Pokemon film.
with this film. They should have like let the scraps carry it.
But the thing is, right? Like, I think the fights in the Pokemon like TV shows only really work because it usually works as a suspense thing where
Yeah.
something dramatic's about to happen, then there's an ad break.
So, Hugh, what was your final verdict on this film? What do you think of it? No.
I don't want to watch it a third time.
Is that all you have to say about this?
No, as in so like a couple of months ago I watched like quite a bit of the first series of Pokemon again, just kind of to see how it held
It came
up.
on Netflix.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah, it came on Netflix. Actually, it was just before it came on Netflix, and I was kind of annoyed when it came on Netflix because I was like, I could have just done this instead. Maybe much better. Yeah, but like, the show is better than this movie, and like the show has a lot of problems, but the show is a lot better than this movie.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem with this as well. Is this movie is uncharacteristically Pokemon because it doesn't make sense for the rest of like the
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the narrator wasn't in it enough. Like he was in at the start. But
Very start, but then that's it.
I love that
Yeah.
narrator.
yeah, he's really good.
He's so
do you-
enthusiastic.
Who do you prefer, that guy or the guy from Come Down With Me?
Oh, that guy. No, the Pokemon guy is way better than the Come Down With Me guy's a bit mean to everybody.
He's very mean.
I would
He's
like
very-
I would
he's
like
very
a
mean.
crossover episode of just crossing over the narrators to get the Pokemon
That'd
guy.
be so good.
We join our heroes in Essex.
Oh, I thought you meant like a Pokemon theme Come Down With Me.
No, just get the narrators to switch roles.
Okay, that would work.
That'd be so good.
Oh my goodness.
What's your verdict, Kieran?
I'm gonna have to fucking agree with you on that one. Like it's uncharacteristically Pokemon. It's just kind of didn't make sense, and it was like Warner Brothers who had the movie rights for this but didn't have. But yeah, it didn't make sense, and Warner Brothers definitely like. Okay, 4Kids has always been pretty bad to like translating of like anime shows, but Warner Brothers had a stake in the movie and it was Warner Brothers with 4Kids making this movie.
Well, yeah, Warner Brothers were distributors, and
Yeah, but-
4Kids basically like did what they did with the show and made it. It's just I don't think this movie was probably very good to begin with. I imagine the Japanese movie has a lot of problems as well.
Probably, but the level of editing
It's a bit
that happened,
racist.
the level of editing that happened in this film is like not characteristic of the level of editing they do on per show, like per episode of the show.
No, that's true.
So they just went. I
Except
think
for
there was, like,
censorship reasons.
Warner Brothers are paying us loads to get this Pokemon movie out there. Let's earn our paycheck and over edit this shit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe I wonder if like they would like Warner Brothers had say on cuts of the movie. Like I'm sure they had some sort of like decision
actually,
making.
yeah,
in that,
they probably did. They probably did because they probably had an advisor in because 4Kids had never done a movie before this.
but had they not?
No, of course not, because
The-
it's
the-
4Kids. They hadn't done like any kind of. If they'd done a movie, it wasn't theatrically released. So
Well, then Warner Brothers definitely had an editor in there
Yeah.
or like a hand in there.
Warner Brothers would have had to have some guy who was the movie distribution expert to come in and be like, "This is how you make a movie, guys." Or at least he thought he'd like, yeah, he had to. He was the guy who's like, "I know the movie business."
Yeah.
Maybe it's his fault more than their fault.
It could be, absolutely, but we're just speculating at this point.
No, it's true. These are facts now. You said them.
We said them on the internet. It's true now.
Absolutely.
Yay.
How about you, Joe? Any final words?
Yeah, I'm never watching that film again. I am, however, going to track down some more Pokemon movies to watch them.
Good.
I don't know why. I downloaded another one. I don't know which one it is. But I'm going to hate that, and I'm going to give you so much grief over it as well.
Okay, cool.
I think it's... What one was it? Fuck.
It-
I have them all here in front of
It's
me.
probably if it could be Pokemon 2000.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon 2000.
That might. I hope you watch that, and I hope that gets you into like the Pokemon Gold and Silver. You should definitely play those.
Yeah, I'm
Good
really,
games.
really...
Good
Like,
games.
I'm dangerously addicted to a video game at the moment, so I I don't think I should do that. But in short, I hate this film.
Okay.
And I'm never. But the thing is, it's completely your fault. And I like if someone had said to me like, "Hey, do you want to like hang out and watch Pokemon?" I'd be like, "Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Let's do that." But now, for the rest of my life,
Now you know.
I'm just never gonna be able to like. I have it on DVD. I'm gonna throw it out. It's such a load of shit. Like I like I think Mew's cool, and
Yeah.
that's it. Like
badass.
there's no redeeming qualities. One character doing the odd flying around bit just can't salvage a film for me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I really want.
Nope, no, you're absolutely right.
I want reparations.
One of the songs in this was written and performed by Baby Spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking draw
Free
the
of
line
your
there.
mind.
That's fucking it. I'm fucking done. No fucking way. Jesus
Well, I was saying that was
fucking
the
Christ.
positive, but whatever you're into. You just don't know what's cool.